Morning, it's Vijay here. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. Today is Wednesday, 2nd July 2025. This week, in my opinion, will be a very important week between India and US as far as the US trade deal is concerned. Ninth, that is next Tuesday, is the deadline, and both US and India are working towards that deal. And I think Trump is pushing very hard with India. So India could be the first country to sign a trade deal, a comprehensive trade deal with the US. Right now, it seems we are in the final stages of the deal. And if the deal goes through, while it may affect lots of companies in the initial stages, I think it will be very good for India in terms of equity flows, and that should really take our markets up. If you're really an equity investor, you should be looking for and rooting for the India US deal. In fact, in the last few days, Trump has been very specific that there will be a deal between India and US. So it looks like Trump will have his way, though we may raise some objections. The last minute objections are going on. But finally, at the end of the day, I think Trump will have his way because he's only talked about India. In fact, he says Japan, there may be no deal before July 9th. And so we may have to charge tariffs up to 30 to 35 points. Basically, US is where we got stuck is the US focus on agri and dairy sectors. So that is where we are pushing back. So we have to see how much we can push back. And we are also looking for concessions in labor intensive sectors. That is basically leathers, toys manufacturing, gems and jewelry. If some deal comes there, if we get some concessions, then some of the companies, the gems and jewelry companies, will also benefit in a big manner, which are listed on the equity market. Vaibhav Global, Vaibhav is one such company which can get benefited. We hold Vaibhav, but it has not really performed for quite some time. Second thing, what we may want to look at today is GST collections. Impressive at 1.85, but still lower than what happened in April and May. April and May both went up by 2 lakh crore. So there is some sort of a disquiet in terms of the fundamentals. They're slightly not as good as what one would like to believe. But of course, the market looks into the future. So maybe after the deal, things may even get better. So yesterday, the markets were lackluster, and it closed Nifty closed slightly in the green. Bank Nifty was weak in the first few minutes and maybe in the first couple of hours, but finally it also rallied. Reliance led the Nifty. Reliance is now broken out of the 1500 range. It has got reached a 9-month high, so that augurs well for the Nifty. Mid cap advance for the 8th consecutive session. So what was happening was, well, the big guys, the institutions were not very active on the market, secondary market. The punters were very active in mid cap, small cap, but small cap came down at the end, and then PSU Bank was the top sectoral gainer. PSU banks seem to be now the flavor of the season. Yesterday we bought into Canara Bank. We added to our positions. As far as Canara Bank is concerned, we believe that it is one of those which will benefit if the PSU Bank rally goes on, and it looks like it is here to stay. IDFC Bank also, which we hold, did well yesterday because of a brokerage upgrade. So that was FMCG, was a top sectoral loser. ITC got hammered. So did Nestle, United Spirits. FMCG, we have been bearish. FMCG and IT, we have been very bearish. I think one should not look at that sector right now because there are many, many stocks which are looking interesting outside of these two sectors. IT closed in the red, and auto declined for the second consecutive session. Numbers have come, the monthly numbers, they're not that great. Especially, I was expecting some good numbers from Maruti. It has not happened. So Dow Jones yesterday, the US market was very strange. Dow Jones went up 400 points. Nasdaq fell significantly, primarily because of Nvidia and other large cap stocks. S&P hovered around the flat line. Then, very important thing yesterday is Senate passed the Trump tax bill, the big beautiful bill as he calls it. So now it goes to the House of Representatives yesterday, and the Senate itself, it was had to be broken by a tie because 50-50 was the voting for and against. The Vice President, who is the head of Senate, broke the tie in favor of the government. So how's it looks like the deal will go through because Trump is very clear that before July 4th, the Independence Day holiday, he needs to announce it, which means it will happen by tomorrow latest, I suspect. So that is as far as the deal. If that tax bill comes, what it will do is, initially it will give a very big boost for the equity markets, for risk assets. So one can expect significant moves upwards in the US market. I think market is already gearing up for that. So some of it may spill over to other markets. India also should be a big beneficiary. And then if you look at what happened, commodities, gold was up slightly, Brent crude was flat, index is slowly and steadily coming down. That is what people are betting. If the deal, if the bill comes through, the Trump tax bill comes through, then dollar will get hammered. They are looking at $88 is what I believe. I'm talking the Trump administration looking at the DXY to be around 88. That is their target. I was expecting 95, so it's come very close to that. As I mentioned, fund flows, FI cash, FI has sold close to 2,000 crores. DI is hardly matched. So there was a negative impact as far as the institutions were concerned. So what are the stocks to watch today? Lupin has, they have also segregated their divisions. So and also they got some nod for iGel, which should benefit. So that is a positive for Lupin. This MOIL has raised the prices, so that should be a positive. Apollo Hospitals has also, they have segregated their divisions, so that's positive. Maruti is neutral, and Hero Motor Corp also has not come up with some very good numbers. Asian Paints has come under the CCI probe, so that should be negative. And NMDC is that sales are not that great. Then other stocks or OMC stocks should do well because the minister says that they will be compensated on the LPG losses. Adani has also they have completed an acquisition, so Adani Enterprises should benefit. Negative SBI cards and payment services, they have been downgraded to neutral by Goldman Sachs. IndusInd Bank also has got a downgrade from Goldman Sachs. So these two stocks may be under pressure. Today is a very important day for HDB Financial. It's getting listed. One of the brokerage houses is talking of a target price of 900. We have to see how it really plays because the gray market premium was not that great. In fact, it had gone up like anything, then it collapsed based on the IPO prices. Finally, not so good news for Anil Ambani, who has come back into limelight. SBI has declared RCom as a fraud account and named Anil Ambani. So all in all, it's going to be an interesting day, but probably led by mid cap, small cap, micro cap rather than the main two indices. Trump is holding firm on the July 9th trade deadline. That is why I believe that we should get a deal before next Wednesday. We don't know whether he is going to chicken out, as they call him the taco. Trump always chickens out. Whether he chickens out, we don't know. But right now, I think he is holding firm on the deadline. So today again, yesterday was a reasonably good day for us because we bought and declined. Today also we'll do the same thing. As I keep mentioning, I am bullish for the next 3 months, maybe even 6 months, unless any black swan event comes. Right now, everything seems to be in favor of it. So whatever you do, hope it is successful.